Imagine standing on a stage, holding a Lifetime Achievement Award. The world is applauding you. You are a success. But inside, you are the saddest person in the room. Why? Because you spent your entire life being a doctor, when your soul was born to be a painter. You climbed the wrong mountain. Most of us are walking in shoes that do not fit. We chase the goals of our parents. We chase the safety of money. But the glass of destiny is thick. You can hammer at it 1,000 times with force, and it will never break. Why? Because you are hitting the wrong spot. You are fighting your own temperament. But what if? What if work didn't feel like work? What if you could labor for 20 hours and feel more energized than when you started? From the patience of Edison to the focus of Einstein, the secret is not just hard work, it is alignment. It is the path of the whole man, where your profession feeds your body and your devotion feeds your soul. When your goal matches your spirit, the universe bends to help you. Even a tiny ant carrying a thread can save a life. Even the impossible becomes the inevitable. Stop running from difficulties. Start running towards your true nature. Discover the art of the goal.
Today we will be talking on approach and art to maintain the goal in life and the behavior. Art to maintain the goal in life. For this, the fundamental is how to select the goal. Most of us select the goal which is not appropriate to their temperament, which is not appropriate to their bent of mind. So it means all life you will be doing something which you from the heart to heart don't want to do it. There was a doctor, he became a very profound doctor in his life, and he was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award. But during the gathering, he was the saddest person in the whole crowd. Then someone asked him, why you are so sad when you have so much of achievement? He said, I want to become the artist in my life. I want to become a painter in my life. But how the conditions had turned me to become the doctor. Of course, I have succeeded in that, but heart to heart, I am the artist. And I want to leave this profession and want to go as per my bent of mind. But I am so much involved in the medical profession that I can't leave it. So I feel very sad. So theme of this small narration is that one must select the goal as per his own temperament. If he selects the goal as per the temperament, as per his inclination of mind, then even if he works 20 hours a day, he will not be feel tired. He will never feel that he is being taxed. So the question is how to select the goal based on your temperament. Generally, parents select the goal for their children. They want they should become doctor or they should become engineers or they become the chartered accountants so that they earn more money and have the comfortable life. But they never think what the child himself wants to do. Child doesn't have a grown up mind at that tender age. He is unable to decide. So he follows the parents and after a few years he suffers. I know one parent spent a lot of money make his son a doctor. He became doctor, but he has no interest in the medical field. He could not succeed. Finally, he left the profession and started some business. He started some tea stall, one tea stall, other tea stalls, and chain of tea stalls. He became a rich man because his temperament was to become a businessman. So if you select a profession or goal against your temperament, you can never succeed. If you have a big, thick glass on the table, if you want to break it, you put as many hampered in number of places, the glass will not break. It will break only when you hamper at its critical point. So you have to select a where is your critical point of life? Where is your bent of mind? So that you can easily make a way and have a tremendous progress in no time. So for this, of course, between 7 and 12 years, child mind is getting grown up gradually because mind start growing only after the age of 7. Before 7, child doesn't have mind. He just works as he sees others. But after the age of 7, the mind started getting developed. 7 to 12, mind is developed. Then the parents must see what is his bent of mind, whether he is an artist or he wants to become some professional or he wants to be divine personality. In the present world, one has to become a whole man. If we see centuries back, if one becomes a saint, he begs for his food here and there and he can survive and devote his life for the divinity. But at present, you have to be a whole man. Even if you want to realize God in your life, if you have not selected a profession where you can earn money as per your temperament, then you will not be able to devote happily the time for the God. Because aim of our life is not only the profession, but aim is to realize the God. So for that, we have to select the appropriate profession and we have to give the water to the divinity so that inwardly we must grow to realize the God before we leave this world. So main goal is to realize God, but for the survival we have to work for the profession. But most of us, even if they have a goal to realize God, to follow the divinity, they get trapped in profession. Even if they select the profession of their choice, getting success in that, generally they forget what for they're born, what is the aim of their life. Question is, one has to be very much alert, very much aware. He must grow professionally and background of his mind must have that he has to realize God. Then only he can be a perfect person. In last centuries or before that, if you look at the life of Vivekananda, from the childhood, his aim was to realize God. After his schooling and a minimum education, the requirement those days were not to earn money and realize God. So his aim was goal was to realize God only. So he went to the different saints of that time who were very profound. Number of places he went. He even went to the Tagore's father, Rabindranath Tagore's father, because he was a very learned person. He asked him about the God, but he didn't get any satisfactory answer. He was referring the Vedas and books and Shastras, Vivekananda told, those things I can also read it, but you show me the way to how to realize it. Like that, he went to a number of peoples, but he could not succeed. Finally, he went to Ramakrishna, as you all know. Ramakrishna told him, you want to realize God now or after some time? He was astonished. What a person he is. He wants me to realize God now itself. He said, yes. If Ramakrishna put his leg on his chest and Vivekananda went to the trance. After 1 hour, when he was in the senses, he was a different person, as if he has seen the glimpses of God. Then Ramakrishna put him in the right track. He had a lot of problems to realize God, lot of faults he has, but he was prepared to devote his life for the God. And finally, after a lot of difficulties, lot of falls, pitfalls, he could succeed because his aim was to realize it. And finally, he became the world-renowned personality. The question is, you must have your basic aim, and whatever the difficulties comes on the way, you will not bother for it. You will easily able to overcome it. You will not run from the difficulties. Generally, we people run from the difficulties which comes on the way, and we leave our main path. But if you have a firm aim in your life, you have a goal, then the difficulties you will bear and all hindrances you will be able to overcome within no time. Same thing if you look at Yogananda, he also had the aim to realize God. He used to go to the temple with his father. Once he went to the Shiva temple because he was not realizing anything. He said, why we are worshipping the stone itself? He didn't pay any respect to the Shiva and left the temple to search for the God because divinity has its own games. He met a saint and he said, you have come to me to search for the God and you have disrespected the God and came here. First you go to the temple, pay your respect and then come here. I will show you the way. He went to the temple. With the sincere hearts he prayed to the God and then came to this gentleman. And he has shown him the way. And finally he met the Yukteswarananda, who was his guru. Yogananda was so much devoted to realize God. Even if he was studying in the school, Yukteswara told him, you must pass minimum intermediate or BSc, BA, so that you must have good language. You should be a qualified person. He was admitted in the school and then the college, but most of his time he was spending with the Yukteswarananda only. When he was preparing for the high school exam, he went to the master and said, whole year I was coming to the ashram, I don't know anything. How can I pass the exam? Yukteswarananda has realized his sincerity towards God. He told him to read such and such chapters, go to such and such boy, he will help you, and you will pass the exam within minimum marks. He did the same thing. He somehow learned 2, 3 lessons what was told to him by the master, and he passed with 30% mark the high school. Same way he's passed the other classes because his attention was towards God. All day he was living in the ashram with Yukteswarananda, but Guru has forced him. He must study because Unless he has a good language, he will not be able to convince the qualified people. So, with minimum marks, he passed the future exams. And finally, full time, he was with Yukdeswarananda. He prepared him as a devotee of God. And once he told to the master, we talk about the God, but I have never had the glimpses of God. Yukteswarananda, by his own divine capabilities, he raised his Kundalini power and shown the complete cosmos to him so that he must realize the God is not in our room only, he is everywhere. And Yogananda was so much trapped in that glorious experience which he was getting. He never wanted to come back. And Yukteswarananda forced him to come back to the senses and said, now it's enough. You must work in the ashram and only for a limited time you must devote towards God and develop with the all intricacies. You have seen everything, but you do not know the path. Then he was introduced Kriya Yoga and given number of lessons on divinity, and he reached to the same state where Yukteswarananda has taken. And later on, he never felt like getting married and devoted complete life for the divinity. Question is, such people have a inbuilt goal of their life, maybe of their past karmas, so they could succeed. Same way, Mahavira was of the same status. He wanted to realize God. He wanted to take sannyasa, but his mother said, no, you cannot. He followed his mother. And after the death of the mother, again he wanted to go for sannyas. Then his brother came on the way. He said, you cannot leave the house. Then he started living in the house as if he is not living in the house because he has so much of attraction towards God. His aim was to realize God. Then the brother realized his living in the house in like this has no meaning. Let him go and take sannyasa. So that was the determination and the goal which was framed by him or through his past life. Or God wanted him to become a renowned devotee of the God. Same thing in Shankaracharya's life happened the same thing. He wanted to take sannyasa, but his mother never allowed. Then once he jumped into the river and through the Shakti of the illusion, the Maya, he created the alligator so that alligator can snatch through his leg to the deep water. When the mother saw it, she was crying. She said, if you allow me to become sannyasi, then I can get rid of this alligator. The finally mother agreed. The purpose of these small stories which I am narrating it, when you have a firm determination what you want to become, you can go to any extent and you can achieve it. There was a scientist, Anderson, who has discovered the electricity. He worked for years together. He had done more than 700 experiments, but he was a failure. All his subordinates, those who were working with him, they were frustrated and asked him, when there is no success, years together, why do you want to pursue it? Because he was coming in the morning with full energy, well dressed up, and started the experiments. And he told to his subordinate boys, We have failed 700 times. It means 700 was not the way to achieve our goal. We have not failed. Basically, we have proved those are not the ways. Ways may be something different, but that is not Guru's heart. We must have patience. And within 2, 3 months, when we pursued the other experiment, and he could discover the electricity. What I mean to say, when you have set goals, you will not be able to accomplish them in no time. It will take years together. But when you are firm to achieve the goal, nature will help you and you will firmly, positively get it. Same thing happened with the Einstein. Einstein's mother put him in the school and he was such a dull boy. He was not able to understand why 5 plus 2 are 7, 4 plus 3 are 7. The teacher became disgusted. He came to his mother and told him that this boy cannot study anything, so we are rusticating him from the school. So I have personally come to inform you so that you should not get offended. So he was removed from the school. The mother has a lot of patience because she has seen the personality of his boy, his observation power. He said, the time will come, the boy will grow. She started teaching him in the house itself, made him, studied him up to high school, and after that, his potential has really flourished. And we know what he has done to the science. He has given the science of relativity to the world. And he was so much forgetful while he was working, while he was traveling. He didn't know where he is going. Once he was traveling, he didn't remember where he has put his ticket. When the ticket collector came, he asked for the ticket. Einstein searched here and there, could not locate it. He said, don't bother, we know. Who are you? You must have purchased the ticket. He said, yes, I purchased the ticket, but I don't know where I am going. What I mean to say, he was so much engrossed in his research while he was traveling even. He purchased the ticket, but he didn't know where he's going with it. So such persons who were totally involved with their goals, they succeed. The goal they have made it based on their temperaments. Nature has helped them. So with all these small stories, what I wanted to convey is you must make the goal as per your temperaments, as per your inclination, whether you want to become doctor, engineer, or any professional in your life. Besides, you want to have goal realization so that you have not to depend on anyone. Because as the time passing, the situation which was centuries back, that condition and situation is not valid nowadays. Things are changing. So that accordingly, we have to change ourselves. We have to become a whole person. We must have our way of our earnings and spend time for the God's realization. So we must select the goal which suits our temperament and it must match for our earning and as well as for our inner growth. Both must have the matching and we must work on our inner side for our self-development and external aim should be for the society to meet our both hands. That should be the goal. We all know about Buddha. He is the greatest example in the world His father has tried his level best to deviate him from the goal, but he has a divine goal to realize the goal in his life itself. So when the time came, seeing a just an old man and a dead body, he left his beautiful wife, children, and went for the God realization. He had a firm inclination to realize the God. 6 years he worked day out and day night, and finally he could realize the God. So that was the aim and the firmness what you want to achieve it. But above that, blessing of the Almighty is also required. Unless the blessing of Almighty is not there, man by his will and wish cannot do much. His blessings and his kripa is a must. Then we all know the example of Eklavya. Dronacharya, he mentally made Dronacharya his guru, and Eklavya was proved to be much superior than Arjuna. It was his total devotion towards his goal. But when the Guru Dronacharya asked for his thumb, he has happily given it. He said, although he has not taught him anything, but from his basically image, or basically from his devotion which he get the energy, he could learn the art of arrows. So he didn't mind giving his thumb to the Guru. So it shows devotion towards his profession as well as the Guru Bhakti. Same thing, once Brahman's son, when he came home after learning everything, that father asked him, do you know the one which operates the complete world? If you don't know that one, there is no point in your whole education. Go back and learn one. Then he went to the Guru back to the ashram, and Guru told him to be with the cows for years together, unless 400 cows becomes 800 cows. Then you come back. And when the cows become from 400 to 800, then he also became one of the cow. And he became one with the Almighty and could realize the God. It was his firm opinion, his firm inclination to obey his father, that his whole education has no meaning unless you realize the one supreme power. To know one supreme power, he didn't bother to give his complete life. That was basically his approach and his goal, his approach to maintain his goal. And he left no stone unturned to live in the forest till the cows become 400 to 800. So unless you have a very firm inclination, firm desires to fulfill your aim and goal, may not be feasible to realize it. And you know, God Himself helps in number of cases, because without His blessing, nothing can proceed. There was a there is a small story of king and the minister. King liked his minister very much, but due to some dispute, king was very unhappy from his minister, and he has given a punishment so that he should live no more. And for this, in those days, they make a big tower, and to whom they want to punish it, they put on the very high tower. He will stay there for without food and drinks and everything, and in no time he will collapse and die. The minister was giving the same punishment, but his wife was highly devoted towards her husband. She never wanted that he should die like this. She knows that he's a very honest guy, and what he has told to the king, it is for the benefit of the king, but king has not understood it. So he has given him this punishment. So she could not help it. She was sitting in the room, crying and weeping and praying the God, but no help was coming from any corner. Like that, 2, 3 days have passed. She was in the room only, and this miracle has happened then. She saw a small creature like ant climbing the wall. Moment the ant was climbing it, after going some distance, it was falling back. Then the idea came to her mind, why not to put some honey on this creature's mouth? When he put the honey, with the taste of honey, he could reach to the top of the roof. Then she got the idea. It's all intuitions. God helps some way or the other. Why not to put a very thin thread on the leg of that creature? And when she put a small thread with the honey in the mouth, the creature climbed to the roof. Then he said, let me collect more such creatures, put the honey on their mouths and the thread on their legs, let them climb to the tower. Many such creatures climbed to the towers, and as they reached the tower, the husband saw it. He could understand it, why she is doing like that. Then from this small thread, she put the bigger thread. Then after that, finally, she put a rope, and the husband could put through the thread, the rope to the top of the tower. And from through the rope, he came down, met his wife, and left the kingdom. What I mean to say, the complete devotion of the wife for the husband through her prayers, through her attachment for the husband. She went beyond time and space. She got the intuition, and God helped her with this particular way so that she could save her husband. What I mean to say, when you have a pure love, either for your profession or for someone, beloved one, God comes and rescues you in number of ways. Her ways are infinite. You can never imagine what way He can help you, what way He can rescue you. Question is, when you are in this state of mind, the behavior has no meaning there. Your behavior will be absent because there's no time for having negative thinking in your behavior. You are totally attached with your goal. You're totally attached with your intuition to go beyond time and space, attached with the love for the God. God comes for rescue by many ways to achieve your final aim of your life. So, in short, I can say you must select your profession based on your temperament and put your whole efforts for the profession with the background that profession is just the need. You have finally has to approach, realize the God, realize your own energies, and that way you can become a whole person. And with your devotion, attachment, purity, you can go beyond time and space. Any difficulty comes, God will rescue you. As minister was helped by his wife. Same way, whenever any problems comes, Almighty force which is present all around us, He That force will not leave any stone unturned to help us, assist us to realize our goal, and we will become the whole man professionally as well as we will realize God, and that our aim of life will be fulfilled. That should be the goal. Behavior will never be deteriorated. You will have a always good behavior, but so much is wrapped with your goal, with the God, with the positive energy. So negative behavior can never come. So this is what I wanted to tell today.